Hello and welcome to the Great Big Indian Wellness Show. My name's Tony Patty, and today we're here in our very special masterclass session to talk about therapeutic yoga. And we're joined by the very talented Mala, who's been practicing yoga for 20 years. Now, she trained in India as a yoga therapist for 4 years and now sees clients in her London-based studio. Her approach when working with clients is find the stillness. No healing can take place without calming the central nervous system. Makes you think, right? Anyway, when she's not seeing clients, she's also making bespoke candles for small businesses. Mala, hello, and a very warm welcome to you. Welcome to the Great Big Indian Wellness Show. And we must also introduce Navi, our special model who joins us today as well to talk about yoga and show us about some of the techniques as well. So hello to both of you.
Hello. Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you. So, Mala, what exactly is therapeutic yoga? Isn't all types and forms of yoga therapeutic?
Arguably. Yes, of course it is. Of course it is. All kinds of yoga is, or all so-called normal yoga is therapeutic, but that is mainly preventative. What we're dealing with normally is a curative process or a palliative process. So me personally, I'm not seeing people for the preventative part of it. They go to classes and lessons and learn that. I'm dealing with people who have specific health concerns. So I don't know if you can see in the background, Navi's lying there. She's got a back problem. She's had a couple of, well, one disc, I think, was a little kind of out of alignment.
Yeah.
So it's all about, I should start actually by saying there is no clear definition about what this yoga is, what therapeutic yoga is, because it's relatively new in comparison to yoga and its history, which is sort of 5,000 years. This is perhaps maybe only 100 years, although, 13th century bronze statues, you see people using props and things. So it's new to us, but not new to in the chain of historic events, if you put it like that. So yoga's sister science is Ayurveda. So we work very closely with those principles as well. And I suppose the difference when coming to me is we already know what those yoga poses do. We already know the therapeutic value of it. But if you have an ailment that prevents you from doing that pose, then I'm in a position to help you get into that pose, stay in the pose, so you can actually start to benefit and heal from it. So in order to facilitate that, I'm using a lot of props. So we've got ropes in the studio, we've got things to hang. I mean, it looks like a torture chamber as you come in here. It really does, but it is an incredibly healing place. So because the props, if you're sick, you start to become, it's the illness that dictates what you can do. If you've got a back issue, then your back will tell you, no, you can't go and do that walk. No, you can't bend down and pick up your grandchild. And your world becomes smaller. So the props are there to stabilize you, to help you stay in the pose for a longer period of time so that you can actually start to heal, so that you can actually start to unfold. The props give you courage and they give you stability. So that's really what
we see Navi, who's actually currently lying on the floor with her feet up on a chair, with a cushion underneath her legs, and what seems like a weighted pillow on her stomach region. Explain that to us. What is that part of the therapeutic yoga process?
It is. So this is how we would, or how I would normally start a session. So Navi's got back pain. Bear in mind, most people are coming to me after a hard day's work, or they're coming stressed. They've not come out of a meditation session and then coming to me. So one of the first things I will do is try and relax that central nervous system. Now, this particular position with the knees raised up onto the chair just allows the the muscles of the thigh bone to just kind of melt off. The reason we've got the pillow underneath her bottom there is that that gives her support. It also kind of helps to push the lumbar spine up. So you're not, so there's no risk of any kind of pressure here. The reason we've got the pillow on the top is likewise, sorry, it's bringing the stomach, the tummy, and therefore the spine down. So you have this kind of support of the spine. I hope that makes sense.
Hmm.
The, the the neck is just to kind of keep the spine in line. That's why we've got that. And the pillow on the eye is to kind of help soothe the nerves. The eyes are always seeking something, right? Even if you've got them closed, they're always looking for information. And this just helps you go inwards and calms things down.
So, as you explained the different poses to us today, Mala, regarding therapeutic yoga, explain to us what Navi's doing there right now with, she's got ropes around her legs with her arms stretched up in the air and her feet at a certain angle. Explain that to us. What is this pose called?
Oh, don't think it really has a name, but let me explain to you what's going on here. So her feet are at an angle so that what she's actually doing is she's spreading her sacrum at the top. So if you imagine when you walk and your feet are just in one direction, everything is compact. It's all coming around the other way. This way, you're spreading. So the ropes now are those knots in the ropes, and they're in the groin area, are actually pulling out the inner thigh muscles. It's all about giving space. Everything that we do is space orientated. And the ropes allowed her, as you saw when she was coming down, they allowed her spine to lengthen, and she can now lay that spine along the bolsters. Her heart now is rested. Behind the heart is the thymus. The thymus is responsible for the T cells. T cells are great for fighting immune disorders. The arm shape that she's got there ensures that the collarbones are wide, so she can breathe. This is great also. I wouldn't necessarily have it standing up, but this is great for people who are suffering from long COVID, because you can breathe now into the back of the lungs. That's what this is about. And it's just very restful. It's really difficult to understand this if you don't have pain,
Hmm.
because it just looks weird. But if you have a back issue, then you know that you'll sense that would feel nice.
What a great learning process this has been. Now, you have other things that you do along with therapeutic yoga and poses. And what are they, Marla? Would you mind explaining or showing us those as well?
I'm going to show you something that I use. You see, the beauty of this is there's no one pose that tackles one particular part of the body, because we're interlinked. So if you do something at the back, it's going to affect the shoulders. Nani's just clearing this for me, which is really lovely. And I'm going to show you something now for neck and shoulders in theory, but it's also used for women's health. It's because it expands the whole kind of pelvic area. I'm just going to move myself now and come over with Navi here. So I think we're going to do it this way so that the camera can actually see it. So we're here. And that's the other thing, this kind of yoga, we've got 16,000 blocks in different shapes and sizes and materials. So these are cork for stability. This is plastic, I guess, for comfort. So Navi, come sit at the bottom here. So as I say, Navi's got a back problem, so we have to be a bit careful here. So this block is going in between the shoulder blades. Yeah, come back.
Oh, that looks painful.
And this block is going at the base of the skull, right? So now you have an extension in the neck, so we avoid any kind of neck pain. This block pushes up the sternum. She's able to breathe. Now we can do various things here with the arms. So the arms go straight out to the side, the shoulders, big expansive chest, right? The legs can go straight or they can be crossed. And again, what I was talking about women's health here, just opening up the whole of the pelvis. Just wonderful, wonderful stuff. And we can do all kinds of things here. So interlock the fingers, interlock the arms. So now with interlocked arms, gravity's pulling this down, right? So this is what I'm saying. You get the body into the position, it will heal. It will relax. It will start to unfold. And that's what we're looking for. That's it.
And that's a